What if I tell you there is a bird in Kenya that looks like it walked straight out of a horror movie? Yet, it plays one of the most important roles in the ecosystem. Meet the Marabou Stork, often called the Undertaker Bird. With its bald head, massive bill, and eerie presence, it's not exactly winning a beauty contest, but there is way more to this bird than meets the eye. Today, we are diving into what makes this creature so unique, why it thrives in Kenya, and why, believe it or not, it might be one of the most important birds in Africa. Let's be honest, the Marabou Stork is not what you would call cute. Standing up to 5 feet tall, with a wingspan reaching nearly 3 meters. It's one of the largest flying birds in the world. Its bold pinkish head, long dangling throat sac, and hunched posture give it a slightly unsettling look. But here is the twist. That ugly appearance is actually an evolutionary advantage. The bald head, perfect for feeding on carcasses without getting feathers dirty. The huge bill, designed for tearing into tough meat. That throat sac, it helps with temperature regulation and display. That throat sac, it helps with temperature regulation and display. So what looks strange to us is actually survival genius. Now, here is where things get really interesting. The Marabou Stork is a scavenger, meaning it feeds on dead animals. And in Kenya, that role is crucial. Think about it. Without scavengers, carcasses would pile up, spreading diseases and attracting dangerous bacteria. That's where the Marabou Stork steps in. Alongside vultures, it acts as nature's sanitation worker. Alongside vultures, Marabou Stork acts as nature's sanitation worker, cleaning up the environment and preventing outbreak of diseases. In fact, in cities like Nairobi, you will often spot them near dump sites or slaughterhouses. While that might seem unpleasant, they are actually helping keep urban areas cleaner. So yes, they may look creepy, but they are doing a job that keeps the ecosystem and even human populations healthy. One of the most unique things about the Marabou Stork in Kenya is how well it has adapted to city life. Unlike many wild animals that avoid humans, these birds have moved right into urban environments. You will see them perched on rooftops, hanging around markets, walking confidently through busy streets. They have essentially become part of the city ecosystem. Why is this? Because cities provide easy food sources like garbages, scraps and waste, while other species struggle with human expansion. The marabou has turned it into an opportunity. It's one of the few large wild birds that has successfully bridged the gap between wilderness and urban life. The Marabou Stork has earned some eerie nicknames like Undertaker Bird. Why? Because when it stands still, with its hunched shoulders and cloak-like wings, it looks like a funeral director waiting. That, combined with its scavenging habits, has given it a slightly spooky reputation. But here is the truth. It's not a symbol of death. It's a recycler of life. It takes what's no longer living and returns it to the ecosystem. In a way, it represents one of nature's most important circles. Here is something that most people don't know. Marabou storks are surprisingly intelligent. They have been observed timing their feeding around human activities, competing strategically with other scavengers, even using their size to intimidate smaller predators. They know exactly where to go and when. For example, some birds regularly visit specific locations at certain times, like markets closing or waste being dumped. That's not random behavior. That's learned strategy. Let's be real. People have mixed feelings about these birds. Some find them fascinating, others not so much. In Kenya, they are often seen as a nuisance in urban areas because of their presence around waste sites. But here is the important part. But here is the important part. Their existence highlights a bigger issue: waste management. The more garbage there is, the more marabou storks you'll see. So instead of blaming the bird, it's worth asking, what does their presence say about human behavior? So, what's the unique thing about the Marabou stork in Kenya? It's not just its unusual appearance. It's the fact that it thrives where others struggle. It plays a critical role in cleaning the environment. It has adapted brilliantly to human-dominated spaces. It's a survivor, a recycler, and an essential part of the ecosystem. Next time you see one, don't just think, this ugly bird. No, no, no. Just think, unsung hero of nature. The Marabou Stork, the Marabou Stork, the unsung hero of nature. If you learned something new today, hit that like button. Subscribe for more fascinating wildlife stories and let me know in the comments. Subscribe for more wildlife fascinating stories, travel and event stories, and let me know in the comments. Would you get close to the Marabou Stork or keep your distance? See you next. See you in the next video. Travel the world with me, your boy Stivy God. Travel the world with me, your boy Stivy God. Peace for tourism promotion and economic development. Tembea Kenya, ujione na ujienjoy. Peace be with you all. Let the adventure begin. Travel the world with me, your boy, Stivy God. Yeah!